Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about Vitor Roque. Because if you've been a long-time viewer of my channel, Beach No Ball, you know that Vitor Roque is a fan favorite on this channel, which is crazy to say because the dude came in from Brazil in January and last year he played less than 400 minutes for Barcelona. I'm going to repeat that one more time. He came in January, he's been at Barca for 8 months and he played less than 400 minutes on the Barca first team last year. And I talk about Vitor Roque on this channel as much as I talk about any other player that actually plays significant minutes on the team. I talk about Vitor Roque more than I talk about Koundé and fucking, I don't know, Ter Stegen. Actually, no, not Ter Stegen. Then Koundé, or pretty much I talk about Roque more than I talk about any other player apart from Lewandowski, which is crazy. And Vitor Roque is super polarizing amongst the Barca fan base. And again, he's only been at the club for 8 months. Some Barca fans love Roque, some Barca fans hate him, and again, we've barely seen this kid play, but he's always in the news. Since he got to Barca, he's always been in the news. There's always a story about Roque, like whether when Xavi was the coach, now that Hansi Flick is the coach, there's always something going on with Vitor Roque since he got to Barca. And now it's looking like this is going to be my last video ever on Vitor Roque. So if you guys hate hearing me talk about Roque because I've been doing it a lot, then you're in luck because it looks like the young Brazilian is on his way out of Barcelona. And not on a loan. Okay, he's not going to get loaned out and then come back next season. It's going to be a permanent transfer. And it's looking like both Roque's camp and Barcelona have decided that is the best way to move forward. Roque wants to leave and Barca obviously want to get rid of him. Which is crazy, bro, because again, this kid came in January. He was one of the most promising players in the Brazilian league. I promise you that's a fact. I promise you, take my word for it, or anybody that watches the Brasileirão can let you know in the comment section down below. Vitor Roque was as promising a player as Endrick was. Maybe not, like, I don't know, because Endrick has all this PR hype. He was like not on the same level, but a little bit below Endrick. But again, there was a lot of hype surrounding Vitor Roque. That's why when Real Madrid signed Endrick, Barca went after the next best guy, which was Vitor Roque. And for me, this whole situation with Roque has been extremely upsetting. Like, the developments have been extremely upsetting and also really, really sad. There's a story that came out yesterday, or not a story, but there was a report that came out yesterday about how Roque, since he got to Barca, he always felt like an outcast. He wasn't, looked after by the coaches or the board. He was always being played out of position. It seemed like since he got to Barca, no one wanted him there. Like, it was just a really, really toxic situation. And that's not a way to help a young player develop. You know what I mean? So that to me makes me really, really sad because I believed in Roque. When I watched him play in Brazil, when I saw that Barca were signing him, I was extremely ecstatic, honestly. I was super, super happy that Barca were going to bring in this kid from Brazil because, again, like I said, he showed a lot of promise. I watched him play. He was really, really promising. Am I saying he's the second coming of R9? No, but he had a lot of promise. And obviously, when he came to Barca in January of this year, our attacking situation wasn't the best. So I was like, okay, this kid is going to come in. Maybe he can revitalize our attack. But he was never given a fair shot. He was never given a fair shot at Barcelona, and it's so weird to me, man. So that makes me really, really sad. I'm sad for Roque, the person and the player, and I hope that this, going forward, didn't shatter his confidence for the rest of his career, because it is not easy to go through what he went through since he got to Barca. It's really not, man. If you played sports at any level, honestly, you could play Pee Wee or any level, you know how, like, one thing can just shatter your confidence like that, and you can really never be the same player. Maybe you had a coach, I know a lot of people tell me that they had a coach in maybe high school or middle school who refused to play them, and then after that, it was just like they were never the same player. And maybe that's what's going to happen to Roque. Again, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope wherever he goes next, he thrives. And I'm going to be rooting for him, whether he goes to Sporting or whether he goes to Everton. I don't care where he goes. I'm going to be rooting for this guy because, again, I believed in him. I still believe in Roque, whether he's running a Barca kid or not. Unless he goes to Real Madrid, then I won't root for him. But obviously, anywhere else he goes, I will root for Roque because, again, I believe in the guy. So again, I hope that this didn't shatter his confidence, and that's why I'm sad. I'm sad for him as the player because the report that came out yesterday just left a bitter taste in my mouth. But I'm also really, really upset because this whole situation was so mishandled by the Barca board, and it's the perfect example of why Barcelona haven't been a serious club in a long time now. They have not been a serious club in a very, very long time. Buying a player for whatever you bought him for, I know the clause, the clause isn't going to kick in, so whatever you bought Vitor Roque for, 30, 40, whatever you bought Vitor Roque for, okay? And to sell him like that, and to bring in a player who obviously the manager didn't want, it's malpractice. And the people running this club are, I want to say this nicely, but I'm not gonna, they're fucking clowns, bro. They are clowns. They are clowns. Joan Laporta, all these guys, they are clowns. They have no idea how to run a football club, let alone a club of the size of Barcelona, one of the biggest clubs in the history of the sport. Okay? It's a fucking joke. Roque, look, man, whatever you think about Roque the player, because I know people have different opinions about Vitor Roque the player. If you want to judge a player, if you want to make your judgment of a player based off 8 months, and barely watching him play, that's you. If that's the way you want to evaluate football, that is you. You can do whatever you want, okay? I'm not going to judge Vitor Roque based on 8 months because that's stupid. Honestly, quite frankly, it's stupid. The kid is 18 years old, coming over from another continent, coming to one of the toughest leagues in Europe, barely gets any playing time. When he gets playing time, he shows promise, but everybody wants to throw him under the bus because he can't play the Rondo that well, and because Xavi and Hansi Flick didn't like him. Come on, bro. Are we serious right now? Again, but whatever you think about Roque as a player, that is your opinion. Okay, I'm not gonna make, like I said, I'm not gonna make a judgment of a player and his talent and his ability off 8 months of barely playing at a club. But again, if you want to do that, more power to you. But again, the business side of it is stupid. Apart from what you think of him as a player, this whole situation has been so mishandled, bro. It's been so mishandled, and I don't know what Deco's doing. Deco wanted this kid. Deco wanted Vitor Roque. Did you ask Xavi if you wanted Roque as well? Did you ask the coach? Because it seemed like Xavi never wanted him. So why is he coming in? Why are you spending money on a guy who clearly the manager didn't want? It doesn't make any sense to me. It honestly makes no sense to me. And who the fuck is running this club? Honestly, it's like toddlers are running this club. I don't know. I really don't know. And the worst part for me about this whole Roque situation is, it's not like, I'm going to say it one more time. I've said it a lot, but I'm going to say it one more time because this is an important point, guys. We need depth at striker. We keep relying on Lewandowski this up-and-coming season. You're going to sell Roque, and you're going to have your striker options are going to be Lewandowski, who's fucking washed, doing the renegade right now as we speak. I talked to him earlier on FaceTime, you know, because I used to be his cameraman, so, you know, we talk every now and then. He's doing the renegade right now as we speak. He's making up a new dance, okay? Lewandowski on TikTok. Yes, go check him out, okay? Like, I got to stop doing that shit. Anyway, Lewandowski is washed. Whatever you think about his TikTok dances, that's fine. I'm sure he does a really good renegade, but he as a football player, he's not a good player anymore. And then you have Pau Victor, who showed a lot of promise in the preseason, but come on, bro. Those are going to be our two striker options this year, and you want to compete with Real Madrid and Man City and all these clubs that have elite strikers. What are we doing, bro? It's a joke. It's stupid. It makes no sense to me. It makes really no sense to me. Because, again, Roque, you can still give him a chance to prove himself. Like, why are you in such an... What is the hurry to sell Vitor Roque? And, like, why are we giving the keys to the castle to Lewandowski? Like, what are we doing, bro? We should have people competing for that spot. You should have Lewandowski, like, worried about, oh my god, this kid might take my spot. Because he can take his spot. And Vitor Roque provides something different that Lewandowski can never provide. And even if you want to bring him off the bench, he can provide something different. You don't have to start him every game, but he can provide something different that Lewandowski can't. So again, for me, I'm just perplexed as to what went through Deco's mind when bringing in this player, and why we're giving up on him so early when our striker options are nowhere like near elite. Like I've said this multiple times. This is not 05 Milan. You don't have Inzaghi and fucking Crespo up top. Okay? You have Lewandowski, who's shit. And you have Pau Victor, who's unproven as Roque is. You let go of Marquinhos, he's off to Chelsea, he's not coming back. I don't get this stuff, bro. I really don't get it. It's such a sad situation. And I hope Roque leaves, man. I didn't want Roque to leave because he didn't want to leave. Remember, Roque was like adamant he wants to stay at Barca. Now that he wants to leave, I wish him nothing but the best. Get out of Barcelona. Get out of this toxic environment because you're never going to thrive in an environment like this. Okay? It's just never going to happen. That's no way to treat a player. It is no way to treat a player. And again, for me, I don't know. I don't know. Like it's weird because this whole transfer window has shown how poorly Barcelona has run. We've sold no players. The one player you want to sell is a player who you brought in January, who actually can help you have more depth in a position of need. Because Lewandowski is fucking shit. I'm gonna say it one more time. Okay, so you want to sell that one kid who's 19 years old. You want to sell Roque, but you've sold nobody else. You've brought in one player who already plays a position that's heavily saturated on the team. You haven't looked for a winger. You haven't looked for a DM. We're relying on Bernat and Casal to start the season against Valencia. But you obviously had money to spend because you spent 60 on Dani Olmo, right? Who came out today and said that his favorite position is playing behind the striker. You know how many players we have that their favorite position is playing right behind the striker? Who thrive in that role? Doesn't make any sense to me, bro. It does not make any sense to me how this club is run, how we plan to compete with the big boys, the teams that are actually well run. Go look at the signings that Man City made. Yes, a signing flops every now and then. Nunez, but go look, they signed Akanji, they signed Ake, they signed Barrio, and obviously Man City's a different level because they have all these amazing. They have like great, not great owners actually. They're kind of pieces of shit, but They have a bunch of money, obviously, to spend because of their owners. But again, you look at the deals that Man City do, they're not really spending that much on players. Like the players that they sign, they're making good deals. The smart moves. That's why they've been so good. That's why they've been the best team in Europe for the past like half a decade at this point. Right? So, I don't know. I really don't know. Barcelona don't know how to spend their money wisely. They don't know how to spend their money correctly. Always going for these luxury political signings. Vitor Roque was obviously a signing by the board because they wanted to compete with Madrid and Hendrick. Dani Olmo was a signing by the board because they wanted to bring this kid from they wanted to bring the kid from Catalonia back. Obviously, after the Euros, they wanted him before the Euros anyway. But it was a flashy signing. He went to La Masia. He was a La Masia graduate or student. Now he's coming back to Barca after tearing it up in Germany and tearing it up at the Euros. It's all political shit. Nothing is in the best interest of the club. Nothing's in the best interest of putting the best product out there for the fans to enjoy, right? And that to me is upsetting because I spend my whole life watching this fucking team. Okay? I'm gonna literally make a match review after every single fucking game that Barca play this year. Every game that the first team play, you can catch me here at Mishandling Ball making a review of a game. Whether it's the Copa del Rey, round of whatever the fuck, or if Barca somehow make the UCL final, or a meaningless La Liga game in mid-March against Valladolid, I'll make a video after every single game because I love this team and I care about and I want to watch my team play. But it seems like these fucking these board members and the sporting director don't care about any of that. They don't care about the product. They don't care about the fans. They just want to make flashy signings to compete with the rivals and to stick at the Fiorentino Perez and Javier Tebas. I really don't know, bro. I wish I had an answer for you guys. I know you guys a lot of times come here for answers. I don't have an answer. I mean, you come here for answers and also amazing jokes about the renegade with Lewandowski. What else are you guys here for? Friendship. We're all friends on this channel. That's one thing. Like, it's a community that we've built here. But anyway, I don't know, man. I really don't know. This whole Roque saga has been extremely upsetting. It looks like he's getting interest from Everton and Sporting Lisbon. Wherever he goes, I wish him nothing but the best. Deco is a clown. He's probably the worst sporting director that I've ever seen at Barcelona. And this is a guy, and I don't know if Joan Laporta deserves to be re-elected next year in the elections, with the work that he's done since he came back. It's been, honestly, a failure by Joan Laporta, in my opinion. I mean, he's done some good moves, but for the most part, the whole Xavi situation, this whole Roque thing, because at the end of the day, yes, Deco's a sporting director, but Joan Laporta's the president. He can sign on, he can authorize a move or endorse a move, or, say no to a move. So, I don't know. I don't know what Joan Laporta and Deco were thinking when they signed this kid and they brought him in just to basically, they paid the money just to come, they paid for Roque to come here, here where I live. They paid for Roque to go to Barcelona just to shatter his confidence and then sell him. I mean, talk about a terrible, poor kid, man. Poor kid. Come to Barca, spend 7 months here, we're going to shatter your confidence. We're going to play you out of position. The manager's not going to want you. Neither of the managers are going to want you. And then we're going to sell you to, I don't know, Sporting Lisbon. Or maybe Everton. I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below in Barcelona. Let me know your thoughts in the transfer window overall. We keep hearing all this stuff about Chiesa and Kingsley Coleman, and maybe Barca are making this signing that we don't know about yet. Nothing's gonna happen, guys. I promise you, nothing's gonna happen. As optimistic as I want to be, nothing is gonna happen. Because, like I said, there's clowns running the show in Barcelona. I don't even know. You gotta laugh, man. You gotta laugh sometimes because if you think about it too much, then you just get depressed. And yeah, I don't know. I love you guys, man. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.